Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. Today I'll be showing you how I draw with watercolor and pen. This is definitely my favorite mixed medium technique. The first thing I do is to draw my picture with pencil very lightly. This helps so that you don't see the pencil marks when you've finished the painting. If you feel your pencil was too dark, you can always erase it softly with a putty eraser. The next thing you do is to stick your image down with tape on a flat surface. This helps with watercolor painting so that your page doesn't wobble when you wet it too often and too. Have 2 jars of water ready, one for your clean water to mix new colors with and one for your dirty brushes. You can use paper towel to dry off your brush. The next thing I do is to mix my paints. This is where I test all the colors, see what I like, what I want to use, and I always keep a piece of scrap paper next to my palette to test out the colors. It's important to test out these colors with watercolor painting since it dries lighter than it is when it's wet. I decided to use a brownish color for the branches. The first thing you do is start painting with your lightest color. The branches specifically I want to paint in the wet on dry technique. So the first thing you do is to paint out your lightest color. This will be the highlight color you see on your image or on your reference. You will paint this color on the whole branch and on the areas where the side branches goes out to the flowers. Then I started with my darkest brown. If the sun would be on your left top corner, that means your right bottom will be the darkest side of the branch. So add in those colors on the darker areas. Also add it in on the side branches going to the flowers. This will give those small pieces a more realistic and 3D look. Then I went in with a medium brown. I use it to blend out the darker areas and also to give it a little bit of shading at the top. You can already see the branches is coming to life with these 3 colors. Then I went in with a soft dirty pink all over the flowers. It really is a very light pink and it's just the base color for now. Once the pen is drawn into the flowers, you'll be able to pinpoint the areas where you want the flower to be darker, then you can go in with a darker shade of pink. I did the outline of the flowers in the 0.2 thickness pen. This is the Uni pen. The outline of the flower is not a straight line. It is more of a curly, bumpy line. It gives the flower that unique shape that makes it more organic looking. The middle of the flower is more of a circle scribble kind of motion. You need to try and just fill that area with circles to give it that dark look. The flower's pollen I also drew with the 0.2 pen. You can almost have a little bit of a curve in that line. Don't have it too straight and then have a circle ball at the end. You can make this ball black or white. The more imperfect these lines are, the more organic and realistic it is. The veins of the flower is in the 0.05 pen. Make sure to hardly touch the paper with the pen. It's a very, very soft line and it's not a solid line. You will see the line almost end thinner. You can achieve this by when you draw almost lifting up the pen to get that really, really thin line. The veins aren't straight lines, they're also more of a curly, bumpy kind of line, and some of them even meet each other. That forms a V. Have the middle ones longer than the ones next to it and also have a few different heights and lengths. When you do the background, have an idea of where you want the background colors to be. I decided to have it only in one area diagonally over my page instead of using the whole background and painting the whole area. The next thing I do is to start mixing my colors. I decided on two main colors. I went with the blue. I thought it goes well with all the pink and the brown I've got in the flowers. Then what you can do is you start with your main color, put it in, try to be careful next to the flowers so that you don't go over the flowers. You can just add this in. It can be more wet so you can have more paint and water so that you can mix the colors later. When you've gone to the edges of the page, dip your brush into clean water. This will help the color that you're busy with just to blend it out a bit and make it lighter. Then you can use this area on the edge of the page. It almost gives that faded out look. So this just helps, instead of mixing it in additional color, just to dip your brush in the water, changes the color a bit, makes it lighter, and it gives you that nice finish. When the paint is still wet of the area you just painted in the first color, pick your second color on your brush, put some dabs and dots in there, try to mix it if you want, blend it out. Use the side of your brush. This also helps to make it more of an organic, messy kind of look, and just instead of having round drops. You can even go in with some black to make areas even darker, and you can also take a clean brush, dip it in water, and drop these drops of water on the still wet paint. This will give it a nice look. It kind of makes a snowflake pattern on your water paint. What I would suggest is, if you have played around a bit, let it dry 100%, see how it comes out, because the colors will get lighter once it's dried, and if you want you can add another layer over. After I finished my background, it seemed like my flowers needed some more color. So I took my dirty pink, I got a little bit of a darker one, and I just added in some of the areas where the flower would be darker. For instance, in the middle, or where it's folded over, where it casted a shadow, and so forth. One of the advantages we've got with watercolor paint is you can add a lot of layers. So don't be afraid to add some more in afterwards. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe to my channel. Till next time, cheers!